This is Into the Fire. I'd like to welcome to Into the Fire Canberra Raiders legend, all-round great guy, community leader and NRL champ, Alan Tongue. Nice to meet you, Alan.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much for having us on board and having a chat with us.
It's my pleasure to talk to you. Now, you grew up in Tamworth, New South Wales, in a farming family. And did you get a chance to get back there often?
I do. I get it probably a couple of times a year. I always try and go back around Christmas time. I love spending family time around there. My wife is from Tamworth as well. The property that we grew up on, there was cattle, there was sheep, there were pigs, there was cropping, and so it's a really mixed farm. So plenty going on, but it was a really great childhood.
Sounds cool. Now, you've always been quite small for the sport you play. What advice can you give guys like me, guys who are 30 kilos wringing with sweat when carrying 4 shopping bags? I think you get it, I'm pretty small.
Yeah. You know what, I actually look back, and when I was going through it at the time, I probably thought I was really disappointed or I was really frustrated being a bit smaller. But what it is, I'm actually appreciative of it now because I think it made me work harder on my individual play, but my team play, I really relied heavily on my teammates. And I don't think, it was probably a bit of a negative mindset holding me back. So I think keep positive, you got unique gifts and abilities, doesn't matter whether you're 30 kilos wringing wet with a few shopping bags, whatever it is, or whether you're only 86 kilos wringing wet out on a footy field, whatever it is, play to your strengths, use your team around you, and most importantly, have fun.
Yeah, it's a good answer. Now, you're part of the Brisbane Broncos scholarship in year 10, 11 and 12. Was it now that you started thinking about the possibilities of playing sport professionally?
Yeah, it is. You've done your research, I tell you. It was. That was a really special period in my life because when I was at the back end of high school, the Broncos had an affiliation with the school that I went. And so I used to go and train with the Broncos in their pre-season, and it was really good. And that was a really, it was a time where I reflected at the end of footy season thinking, you know what, this could be a career path for me, and I loved it so much. So it really sparked something in me being on scholarship with the Broncos in those years.
Yeah, it's a great game. Now, one thing I don't understand is Tamworth is in New South Wales, but the Broncos are in Queensland. Why did they help you out, a New South Wales boy?
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was a connection with the school. And even though I moved down to Canberra, Brisbane is actually closer to Tamworth than Canberra is. Our closest team is really Newcastle, but I didn't have an opportunity to go there. The Broncos worked a bit with our school and identified a few kids from our school. And so that's how the friendship, the partnership came about. I didn't end up being a Bronco.
No, you didn't. Broncos put all the work into you, and then at the end of school, you went to Canberra. Why did you choose the Raiders, and were the Broncos spewing?
Well, I'm not sure. Wayne Bennett was the coach at the time, so you have to ask him if he was spewing. But there was actually another club. There was St George Illawarra had just formed, and St George had asked me to go down to play with them as well. So I looked at the 3 clubs. It was Canberra, St George, and the Broncos. And when I actually toured Canberra, it felt like a big country town. And I grew up in a small little farming community, and so it just felt right for me. It wasn't because there was more opportunities or more money or anything like that. It was a country town, and that's where I felt comfortable. So that's why I ended up coming to the Raiders.
Yeah, that's nice. In your first year, you won Raiders Rookie of the Year. Can you remember back to your debut, and what was it like to achieve the boyhood dream?
It was amazing. I got to play with Laurie Daly, coached by Mal Meninga. I was playing alongside Brett Mullins, David Furner, Kenny Nagus, all of these names that I'd grow up watching. I remember training one day, and I was training alongside Laurie Daly, and I was running along. I just wanted to touch him. It was crazy. I was training alongside one of my childhood heroes, and then to debut when I was 19 years of age, and it was an amazing moment. It was a really special moment for me, but it was a special moment for my family as well, who did a lot of long car trips, paid for a lot of footy trips and coaching camps and different things, and so the enjoyment that it brought them was something that was really special to me as well.
Yeah, it would have been. Now, you're an amazing trainer and did everything at 100 miles an hour. You gave everything to what you had every time you took the track. Players nowadays are treated very differently with sports science. Do you think you would have played longer in the current day?
Yeah, I think I think so. I think the way that our players are looked after now is fantastic, and that's the way it should be. I think all sports have got really professional in the way they recover, and all of those things was, it's just a real great thing as the game continues to evolve. So maybe I might have played longer. I don't know. Maybe I might have been able to keep up with the new talent that's coming through. You don't never know, but in my era, I had an absolute blast, and that was great.
Yeah, you did, and you're an amazing player. Now, you've always been a great tackler. I mean, in 2006, you broke the record for tackles in one season with 1,087 tackles. That's incredible. At such a small frame, have you always been a hugger? Are you like, hey, come over here and give me a hug sort of guy? COVID must have been hard for you with social distancing.
Yeah, that's right. I just want to tackle anybody, anything that moves. I was going to tackle you on camera, but I won't. COVID, but keep it our distance. But when you went back to that question before about being a little bit smaller, one of the things that I could do, and I'd worked hard on from a young age, was my defence. And so a big part of my role in the team was to do a lot of the tackling. And so it was great to get those numbers, but I didn't look at it like that. It was, that's my role. There was many other guys doing many more runs than me and scoring more tries, and that's all part of it. But my role in the team was to do that. And so it was great at the time, but I do like hugging.
That is a lot of tackles.
Good.
In 2008, you won Lock of the Year and Captain of the Year. That must have been a great achievement. Not to mention, you won out your only final. 2008 was a good year, wasn't it?
It really was. And to actually put why it was such a good year, not because of the personal accolades, but back at the start of the season, we were tipped to come last. We didn't have a roster that was full of big high-profile players. Halfway through the season, our coach actually said that he was going to move to another club, and so we really had to rely on each other. The club really worked hard, and the teammates in particular really did everything they could. And so it was a really special year for me, to be able to win those couple of awards. But as a club, it was probably one of my most satisfying years in all of the footy time that I had there, because we just got the best out of ourselves. And that was really good to be a part of.
Yeah, to win as the underdog always feels good.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Now, like I said, you only won one final in your 11 years at Canberra. Was there ever a time where you thought about going and chasing a flag somewhere else?
There was a couple of times I had thought about, opportunities to move to other clubs, but I still, that first opportunity when I wanted to move down there, I really wanted to, be in the country. And that never changed from the moment I got there. And I built great memories. I started not only a rugby league life, but a working life down there as well too. I was a mechanic when I first started.
Oh yeah.
You got that in your notes? No?
No,
Good. There you go. That's something new for you. Yes, I got one. So I started there. So I met many people through, my working career too. So when I just come out of high school, so there was great memories there. I really didn't want to leave there. There were some opportunities, but I wanted to have success at the Raiders.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting fact. I'll have to write that down for next time.
Nice.
You are one club player now. How does it feel to have that honour?
Yeah, it is. It's really nice. Sometimes it can go the way that you want it, and some players want to be one club players, but they might get pushed out or things happen with injury or whatever it is. So I feel lucky. I feel lucky to do that. There's only been a few that have done that at the Raiders, and I was really blessed to be able to do that. So it is a nice little thing to say.
Yeah. You never were selected in State of Origin. How is that possible? I've spoken to a few rugby nuts, and they say you're the unluckiest bloke in the NRL. I know we played for premierships, but is that the most disappointing thing when you look back?
It's one of the things that I look back and go, I would have loved to have tested myself in that arena. There's something really special about State of Origin, the intensity that brings, and it brings out the best in people, and I would have loved to have been able to do that, but I wasn't meant to be. And so I think it made me more determined, more hungry to try and get in there. It never happened, but it was a great journey and something that I would have loved to have done, but I wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. If it is possible, you have achieved more off the field since retirement than on. What are you up to now? And are you the nicest guy in rugby?
I'm not sure about that, but it's. I always really knew how much rugby league meant to people, and not just about the game on the field. I knew how much enjoyment it brought to people that might never play a game of rugby league or mightn't get to that level. I remembered when footy clubs used to come to Tamworth and do a coaching clinic and how much I enjoyed that. And so I always had that perspective when I went down to Canberra, and so I was always trying to do work in the community, and I've tried to continue to do that. I feel like the game doesn't owe me anything, it's me that owes the game everything, and I still try and go out with that attitude in the work that I do.
Well, I can't lie, I think you're a nice guy.
You haven't met George, you've got to interview Georgie yet, you might have. My guy though, the girl, there we go.
You were ACT Australian of the Year in 2017. There must have been great recognition of all your hard work.
It was. It was really nice. It was very, I couldn't believe it, to tell you the truth. When I first got nominated and then to actually do that, it was really special. And I was on a bit of a journey when I retired footy too, exactly knowing what work I wanted to do. And I always wanted to be working with young people and people that had probably made a few poor choices. And I was working in detention centres and different things. And what it did, it really gave me confidence in the work that I was doing, and it actually made me more confident to go out and do more. And so that was one of the really great things about the Australian of the Year process.
It's an amazing achievement. You should be really proud of it. Now, here's a couple of quick questions for you. You played 220 games and tried in 31 of them. Why didn't you put in effort for the other 100?
I know, that's right. Because my job was to tackle, not to score all the tries. You've got to share this around. That's what teams do. Okay, no, that's right. I wasn't a noted try scorer, so thanks for bringing that up, though. Good, thank you.
Are you Matt Rao's father? Because you look like an Olympian.
Oh, no, that's not me. No, I'm blessed with 4 beautiful kids at home there. So my kids there, but no, it's the looks are unique. A few busted noses too.
Yeah. You have 4 children. Are any of them following in Dad's sporting shoes?
Well, I got 3 daughters and 1 boy, and playing a little bit of footy. My little daughter's probably the roughest and most toughest of the lot, so we'll see how it goes. But we've got all sports in our house, which is really good.
Yeah, well, I wish them luck then. I know you're not playing anymore, but everyone who comes on my show gets the chance to experience at least once in their life, the greatest celebration in history. So take a breath. Think back to those 31 times you crossed that try line. Imagine following them with this, the Into the Fire.
Nice. I like
Give it a try.
Like this.
Oh yeah. Works good with the hat on. Yeah. Nice.
Thanks for that. If I score another try, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah, alright. Okay. Well, Alan, you're an absolute legend of a guy. You're exactly what the youth of sport should look at being like. The way you went about your rugby and also the way you have helped in the community. If there were more people like you in this world, the world would be a better place. Thanks again, Alan.
Thank you so much.